Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Thanksgiving episode of Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron Rosien. Our producer is Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant, and we're part of the Southeast Iowa Union. In just a little bit, our guests today are Melissa Westphal and Jan Gallagher. We'll talk about the reason for the season event at the auditorium Saturday at 1 and some of the other upcoming events and things with the auditorium, and looking forward to that conversation. Quick housekeeping per usual. If you have a birthday shout out, local event, anniversary, you can put that in the chat or email washialive@gmail.com. Nick, I like your sweater.
Thank you.
I felt like I put brown on because it's the color of a turkey and
I looked at my fleece in the closet, and I just had this feeling that you were gonna wear a fleece, which you're not. But I was like, we're gonna match again, so I didn't wear it. I made a last second call to put this on.
Well, we could start texting, but we'll see.
True.
I don't know. It's kind of fun. So I approve. Good style. Let's do our weather. It's like hot out, and it's hot in here per usual.
Yeah. I've been sitting here for 8 hours a day, so.
So you've kind of acclimated?
I think so.
Well, I play that pickleball with the folks in the morning, and they get me warm. That's how it goes. And it's warm outside, 46 degrees and partly cloudy. Let's do our police report, and then you have kind of a fun thing from the north side of the county to pull up. Looking forward to that. 8 in traffic, 5 in animal, 5 sex offender checks, 4 missing people, 4 fire calls, 3 arrest warrants, 2s and 1s for the rest of the list, for a total of 50 calls for service since we last spoke. Looks like we have 4 highlights today. We have at the middle school the report that a student just walked away, request an officer, attempt to locate, 111 responded, located the juvenile, and returned him to school. The only thing that was missing is an illegal vape.
That's true.
Since that's the thing.
But I feel like we all kind of wanted to do that in middle school, just walk away and go home.
I don't think the technology existed when I was in school, but there were 2 educators that, never mind, that doesn't matter. That's a story for another time about the smoking. But yeah, there were cigarettes when I was in high school, but there were not cartridges.
And I've talked about it on the air before. When I was in high school, vapes were like massive. And we never got caught.
And they would make that funny sound.
Yeah, and we never got caught. Now kids have USB drives and they're getting caught. Well, they're just getting sloppy.
Teachers are getting smarter.
That's probably true.
Or not smarter, but
yeah, they know what to look for.
They know what to look for. Thank you. We have an educator that will be on in a second. We can get her, a retired educator. We can get Jan's take. We have, this I like as well, on the Louisa Washington Road, there's a rabid raccoon in their yard that has been following his wife around all day. Request someone respond to put it down. DNR was contacted, C358 and C356, so County Conservation, responded and took care of the raccoon. Thank you, guys.
I'm just confused about the following the wife around all day.
Well, they act strange. I think they're supposed to be nocturnal, but if they get all miswired from the rabies.
But it's like, I don't know, was it just like, what was it following her?
Hard
like
to
around
say.
town? Or just around the yard? Or
I assume the yard. I don't think they can put that kind of miles down. On down the road here in Washington, we had a reports there's a subject with something in his hand that appears as if he is going to deface the new mural on the square. Subject is wearing a dark gray hooded sweatshirt. Description of the male, 110 and 111 responded, no damage to the mural. I worry about stuff like that too.
Yeah, but I think that person was very, very anxious. I think they made up they were like,
well, anxiety.
As we talk about, like, see something, say something. That person
saw something
and they were.
Well, and I think this last call, anxiety, also led to, if you were paying attention to the fire last night, or the smoke rather, caller reports smoke and some sort of glow coming from the old library, which is exactly what just burned severely. Washington Fire, Adam 56, 111, 112, Ainsworth Fire, me on my way to help my dad move a stove. That happened to be like driving right by. All responding units were disregarded. The smoke was from a meat smoker. So it's this guy that's illegally living in a garage between 2 buildings, and it's the smoker. And there were people outside the church. When I was listening to the radio, someone called in from Fairway saying, no, it's not the old library. I can see it.
Yeah.
Vehicles everywhere. Full sky of smoke. Yeah. And I saw the gentleman smoker, and it was just billowing like a chimney, and smokers are not supposed to do that. No. As someone who just used one for the very first time, and it's like one little pinhole of smoke, and I mean, he comes out and goes, Smoker's working too good, guys. I'm like, okay, well, that's good. I think the police chief or an officer might want to touch base with me, but all is well. And that's the story of.
Well, I didn't know all that part when I put that in the police report, but I'm glad to know that. I can
tell the rest of the story on that one. Okay, before we go to break and have our more important part of the conversation, show us your picture.
Well, yesterday, Kaylin sent this to me with the subject line, photo of the year, and it is a horse and buggy pulling a John boat.
I like it. I think it's practical.
Up in Kelowna.
And I don't know how many Amish watch our show. Probably not many, but the rules are interesting. When I was at the hardware store, one of the employees, Mr. Bushhart, would be hired to do transportation for Amish members, and they would go to Indianapolis. And he said they would stay in a hotel along the way. And there's all these rules, but the moment the van pulled into the hotel, straight to the room, TV's on. TV was on all night, soaked up every minute that you could. And then they leave in the morning, go to the next hotel, on the way back. Once again, straight to the room, television's on until dawn.
Understandable.
I mean, yeah. Also, new order, I mentioned to our guests, you can have a tractor with a generator and a cell phone that you then plug in and have to turn on the generator to charge and go check your messages, but the rules aren't allowing that in the house or the line.
Yeah.
So there's funny ways to thread the needle.
Well, so
and get what you want.
When I was in my anthropology classes, the Amish were a good case study since most people grew up at least somewhat close to Amish people.
Sure.
And the rule is they have their, and I'm pretty sure I could be.
There's steel and rubber rules.
They have their meetings, and it's more of when new technologies are developed, they have a meeting and they say, how would this technology affect our community? And then they kind of go from there. It's not just a stonewall, no technology. It's a discussion of evaluating, is this the pros and cons of should we allow this in our community, or will it affect our way of life?
Well, and perhaps that's how they ended up with the steel tires versus rubber tires.
And that's what, you can find photos online of them using computers, because if you're a farmer nowadays, you kind of need to use a computer at least once because so many documents and things are online.
You might have to.
You might, so it's
well, no, because of religious freedom, so you have to accommodate for those that don't.
But sometimes, the bureaucracy has moved online, so it's kind of, it's very interesting, which I think we could all kind of learn from, is this technology necessary for my life? I think we could all learn from them.
Fair takeaway. There's all things in moderation.
Exactly.
Including moderation.
Yes.
Says Julia Child. We're going to go to break. And actually, one of our guests mentioned the Amish and kayaks. So we'll touch base on that. And then the more important stuff after we return with Jan and Melissa. We'll see you after the break.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Hey, Vina. Hey, Vina. Hey, Vina. Did you hear the rumor about butter?
No.
Well, I'm not gonna spread it.
Welcome back to the Thanksgiving episode of Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm Jaron, this is Nick, and our guests today are Missy and Jan. Hello.
Hello.
So happy to have you.
Yes. Glad to be here.
Before we talk about the important stuff, will you mention the kayaks?
Yes, because I recently, it may have been the same horse and buggy setup with the John boat, but then some young Amish youth had stacked kayaks up on it and tied it all up with rope, and they had had a really good time from the looks of their clothes. They were getting ice cream in town at that point.
Okay, this sounds like
Pile of kayaks.
worthy adventures.
Yes, I kind of wanted to join it, but yeah, they look like they had a super great time.
Well, I'm also excited. I'll transition to the event that we have in town this weekend. There's something for everyone on Saturday. It starts with the Jingle Bell Run at like 8 in the morning, I think is registration, and the run is shortly after that. We have the show, The Reason for the Season, at 1 p.m. There's also the lighting ceremony at 6 and the parade, I think, at 6:30. Mm-hmm. And we are going to talk about the Reason for the Season show, which is part of the Washington Area Performing Arts and Event Center shows. Let's talk about the show first, and then we'll talk about some history and upcoming event. What do we have to look forward to?
Well, last year my family and I just adopted a single family in the county to give items to for Christmas, and I just thought we could do something a little more far-reaching.
Sure.
So we're giving a portion of the proceeds of this show to our local HACAP.
Wonderful.
To support local families during the holiday season. So this is really just a fun variety show, and it's really geared for the whole family. We'll have a handful of dance acts. We have the middle school choirs coming, and I hear Santa and Mrs. Claus are going to make an appearance.
Right. I'm excited to help MC with you, and I also will be kind of just going with the flow as you've put all of these wonderful things together. Santa Claus, middle school.
Yes, we actually have Elvis coming.
Ooh. That'll be a fun
Which
treat.
maybe not so holiday, but just, you know.
Elvis can dress up for any
Super
occasion.
entertaining. Right. So I think it will be a very nice afternoon.
Well, this will be fun. I'll throw in a piano number, like just
Yes.
a good old-fashioned, learn from Grandma Jan and my mom are piano teachers, so an acoustic holiday song, and that's a good reason for me to pull that out.
Dust the fingertips off. Yep, absolutely.
Exciting. So Jan, what's the history of the auditorium and this? We have this event we just described, but we have many others. And talk about that, please.
I'm part of the board, the Washington Performing Arts and Event Center Committee, but within the last couple of years, we have collaborated with the Washington Concert Association in order to sort of bring together the resources that we share and can share, and it's been very successful so far.
I love that partnership. I've
Yes.
talked about that at the state level with individuals as an
great.
example of boards combining successfully, because in other communities, there's similar situations where you have some duplicated efforts.
Right.
And talking about how to like synergize, I guess.
Right.
And I think the board has done a really good job of that.
Good. Well, we were going out as two separate organizations asking people to help sponsor us, but now we can, put that together into one pot instead of two, and instead of jockeying for dates and areas to perform and everything, we could just do it all together. And we offer a season ticket, which is $60, and it covers 5 events here. But if they choose, they can go to Ottumwa and Centerville and Keokuk and Fairfield also.
What is the word they use for that? Reciprocity.
Reciprocity,
That's
thank
what it
you,
is.
right.
So there's other concert associations in surrounding counties, and that $60 ticket will get you the reciprocity with them as well.
Right. And so that's a great deal, because our individual tickets at the shows, except for Reason for the Season, which is actually not part of the season, it's just
An extra bonus.
an extra bonus, right. But the regular tickets are $20 a piece. So if they go to 3 shows, they've already paid for
The season ticket.
plus 18 other shows available to them through the reciprocity. So
What
they're great.
is the cost of the show, The Reason for the Season, at 1 p.m.?
It's $10 for adults, which then will be going to HACAP, and then students and children are free.
So a very affordable
Yes.
opportunity
Afternoon
for
of entertainment.
Saturday afternoon. I like that the shows vary from people that come in from far away, like
Right.
the tours, or the compilation of local people that you know and that you
Right.
see around every day.
That's right.
That get to perform for you. It's a nice variety.
Right, and then in addition to the reason for the season, we have 3 other shows yet this season. One's called Parallel Exit, and it's a high-energy, modern-day vaudeville type show, reminiscent to the vaudeville a century ago.
Oh, interesting.
And very family-oriented. And then another one is Pandalirium, which is steel band, and it is...
Is that a Jamaican type of it?
Well, it says they do 55-gallon drums is what they
Oh,
play
so
on,
it's a steel
apparently.
band, yeah.
And apparently they do modern versions of calypso to reggae, jazz, all kinds of different
That will be
things.
very interesting.
And that's fun. And that'll be in March. And then in April, we have Beauty and the Beast from Opera, Iowa. And
There's a great variety of shows.
yes, yes. And what's so exciting about this is one of our mission statements says that we want to provide more art experiences for children. And with this, we have an afternoon workshop or daytime workshop for students as well as a performance the day that Opera Iowa comes. And they do a children's show during the day at school, of course, free to kids. And that they'll start with 5th graders and then as many as we can get in our school district, St. James and all our
Everyone,
elementary on down, as many as we can get in, up to 700. And then in the evening, we have Beauty and the Beast. And this is Opera Iowa's own version of Beauty and the Beast.
So there's something new. You can expect something a little
Right.
different than
And
the...
one of the fun things I think is that they use the same set, but they turn it around. So we help them to set up their original set for the kids, and then when that's over, we go back and help them turn it around, and it's a totally different
It's
set.
like, do you mean physically turn 180 degrees this single set, or do you mean like turn the...
Set.
Okay, I'm following now.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And we will put all of that in the chat, as we always do. There's
Right.
the Performing Arts and Events Center website. There's also a Facebook page. You also have a Facebook page for your studio, where some of your dancers will be performing acts.
Yes, and we put this as an event on our Facebook page as well.
Perfect. We'll make sure that we link all of that. So if you're watching, you can just click in the comment bar, and those links will be right in the chat. Of course, if there's something that you want us to know, you can also put it in the chat.
And I would like
Please.
to mention, if they want more information, they can go to www.washingtonauditorium.org, and they can get information about all these shows, and they can order tickets.
And we can also put that in the chat that I referred to.
Right.
That is not a
And
problem.
the other exciting thing is that the Stewart art teacher, Kristen Hazlett, thank you, just went blank.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes. Kristen Hazlett has provided like 100 pieces of art by her 1st graders and 30 from her 2nd graders, and those are in the art display cases.
That's right. So that's the student art that'll be in the lobby of the auditorium.
Auditorium.
Of course, we're referring to the high school auditorium, and I love that we have 2 because we also have
Yes.
the community theater, which
Right.
hosts many great events, and this would be different than that.
Right, so those are up and ready to be viewed, and they're just colorful and fun.
Perfect.
So we want everybody to take a chance to look at those when they come to the show.
Well, that'll be neat. So that's the 1 p.m. option. Of course, we already had a conversation on Monday with Todd and Brandy about the radio play. So there's a lot of things to see, which includes the candy and the throwing and the parade, the art center things like the show and the play. I feel really great about what we have to
I do too.
have going on in town. So is your girlfriend coming down this weekend?
We're kind of going all over the place. To her family up in Waterloo, my family in Marion.
Oh,
We're
I
kind
see.
of,
Wow.
well, I guess my mom's in Marion, and so yeah.
Because I know you
unfortunately
do
will not be in
excursions.
Washington. Yeah,
Well, you come here all the time for work, but it'd be
Yeah.
fun to pull you in for some of
it
these
would be. But
shenanigans.
unfortunately, I'll be running all over Eastern Iowa.
It is. So for the bar industry, it is Blackout Wednesday, which is
Oh,
work, really. Hence doing all of those Thanksgiving prep ahead of time for a smooth Thursday.
very good.
Anything else that we should touch on that we haven't yet? Well, why don't we go to break, and when we return, if we've missed anything, we'll hit that, and we'll close out with the birthday game, which we haven't played with 3 guests in a while, and that will be fun. Stick around after the break, and we'll pick up where we left off on Washington Live.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our communities stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm Jaron, that's Nick, and our guests are Missy and Jan. We're closing out with the birthday game. Ooh. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We have a few birthdays to wish to Suey Wyatt, Kurt Mayer, and Emily Jewel Conway. Happy birthday to you. And it looks like we have 4 celebrity birthdays. I've prepped Jan on the rules. This is the first for her. Are you a champion, a reigning champ? Did you win when we played?
I believe we tied.
I love a good tie.
Yeah.
It's gracious.
Seems fair.
All right.
What do we have? Is there a national day, Nick?
Yes, it's National Tie One On Day, which is a day, which sounds bad, but it's about aprons. So it's basically National Apron Day, but also
Tie One On Day.
To honor those, like our grandmas and people that wore aprons and things like that.
I was not familiar with this. It does tie into the holiday I mentioned, which is in the bar industry. And
Yes.
if you word it the other way.
So wear an apron today, I guess.
Okay, doke. Let's do our celebrity game.
First up, we have Miley Cyrus.
Oh, sure. So we'll typically rotate who goes first. Why don't we start with Missy, and then Jan, you can go first on the next one, and we'll just rotate around. Do you have a guess? Do you know?
Well, just thinking about like having used her music and dance and like how many years have I been doing that? And she started as a kid. I'm going to say she's 30.
Good guess. It's just a game. No stars.
28.
28, and I'll click 31 in my mind.
Yeah, you guys all got a point. She is 30, so start out 1 to 2 to 1.
Didn't you, Missy, guess?
Yes, that's what you got, 2.
Yep.
Good job.
Next up, we have John Schneider, otherwise known as Papa John. Here's him.
Didn't he get in trouble?
Yeah,
for a few things.
A few things, yeah. Here's him in an interview afterwards where he was very sweaty and said, I've ate a Papa John's pizza every day for the past 30 days and it doesn't taste the same. And as how greasy he looks in this photo, that makes sense.
All right. Well, not the most flattering work that you've done, but that is fine. Jan, you are first if you'd like to throw a guess.
62.
I don't know if he's aged as well as.
Oh.
And I will, so I'll go next and guess 65.
63.
I didn't know if you take lower, under, or over.
You guys are doing pretty good. He's 61. So we now
so
sit
2
out.
points for that
Janice
one.
got 1 point. Melissa's at 3. Jan is at 1. Okay, next up we have Franco Nero, who is a old Western
Tell
actor.
me what's happening with your photo here.
It's watermarked. It was the only good JPEG photo I could find.
Fair enough. So this is who again?
Franco Nero, the famous spaghetti Western actor.
Super famous.
He's also in one of the John Wick movies.
All right. Well, I guess I'm up first, and I will guess. I don't know. 71.
It's, 75.
Oh, maybe you'd click into the 80s. What do you think?
She took mine. 78.
71, 75, and 78.
He is 81.
So
So
none, and one for Jan.
So ties it up 3-3. Jerry, you're still at 1.
where
Going
I like to be.
into the final round, which this one is probably might be a bit more well known. It's Robin Roberts from Good Morning America.
Yeah, I saw her this
She's one of the
morning.
morning network morning
She
shows.
ages.
She didn't say her age, though.
Preservation in the celebrity. I like her ring. All right, so I guess you have dibs on first.
It's for all the marbles.
59.
All the marbles, he says. 59. What do you have, Jan?
55.
59, 55. 56.
She is 62.
Whoa.
So do you get a point then?
Yep.
She looks good.
She looks really good.
So I think that's 4-3 to 1. Congratulations.
Didn't deal with
Yes, yes.
No draw today. And thank you for coming on.
You want to grab your trophy? You're taking the trophy this time? You tied last time.
well,
Your
I'm
Stairway to the Stars. It
Yes.
fit right in
Yes.
your
It's
That
right.
would.
And it might not
right on
be
my
as glorious
desk.
as the other trophies, but
Thanks to our publisher, Matt, for making
making this happen.
And thank you again for coming on today to
was
talk
fun.
about the reason for the season, Saturday at 1. Of course, it's a big day Saturday. There's plenty of things to choose from, as we've talked about on this week's previous shows. Have a happy Thanksgiving, a great holiday to all you and your families. We'll see you on Monday with our next show, Washington Live.